it?
I think you can get the sofa up there.
That's set up for ready for 24 hours.
Oh, by hell, that is well in advance.
Mate, it's rigged. It's constantly running.
Mammy.
Hey, there we go. There's our ugly mugs. We'll just check a sound thing.
Ready for 24.
There we go.
Here's the
sword.
2 fawns.
Set of focus.
Alright, okay.
No, it's up to you.
No.
You're in charge of audio video. You've been the AV guy now for a while.
Yeah, but I don't fucking know what I'm doing, do I?
Close up.
It's alright, I'll take over again next year.
Good.
Oh, fuck's sake, here we go. I was put my foot right on that one. I was just saying, no, I really enjoy this. I'm running a lot.
I'm going to remember that. It's on cam as well.
And it's on the Zune.
Yeah.
That's going to be the start of the show.
Cold open.
Right, there we go. And that's not helping, is it?
Just leave arrows.
I don't want to be that much in focus anyway.
I've made it worse.
That way.
I think I've made it worse in every possible way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I made it awful.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. It's a very appropriate
song. We'll fix it by Christmas.
Yeah, it's a very appropriate song to have for this time of year.
Is that me in the middle? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
It does look like sort of...
that glob.
Do you know what though? Because it's the way it's looked. You see like the black bin where his mouth is and the 2 eyes. It does look like sort of PS1 cutscene, doesn't it? Right.
Low poly count, mate.
Yeah. Good evening, TheSuffolkRam.
Am I still?
Skazz.
And welcome to a very blurry podcast.
We went to soft focus, so we just got the old we just shit over the lens.
Okay, so here we are, episode 103. We'll blitz first because we've got to record a second. No, we're not recording a second one.
No, we've got stuff to do later on. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. We're not going to record a second one for next week, and we won't be faking Christmas and all that sort of stuff.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. Yeah, we're doing that then. We'll look completely different clothes and everything.
Exactly. Yes, we did that once actually, didn't we? We actually had changed shirts between podcasts.
Oh dear.
Well, in 2 weeks, I'd expect so.
Nah, mate, I'm a filthy tramp. Look at me, I can't afford.
I think I was wearing this last time as well. Actually,
I might actually go out of my way for like a complete run of podcasts just to have the same shirt ready. Just to
be fair, you do cycle around between like 6 different shirts, so it's not far off that. We could probably readjust all the audio, all the podcasts in, say, the playlist. God, can you imagine someone actually playing that playlist from start to finish? 103 episodes.
That'd be horrible.
That would probably... I wonder how many days that would take them.
I think I'd end my life before the last.
Well, on average...
Mate, they'd be on lists.
Well, if we're assuming that it's an average of 2 hours a podcast, so that means every 12 podcasts be a day, that means with 100 podcasts, that's like nearly... That's getting towards a week, isn't it?
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Is that what they used to torture people now? Rat Nerds podcast.
They did it in Git mode, but it's considered too cruel. So they changed it to waterboarding.
Have you not got that? Do you not know? We've not seen the check coming from the American government every month.
No one told me.
Look, we get they pay us £1 million a month.
I was going to say I wondered why it was so high.
To do this podcast to torture their prisoners.
I did wonder where the budget was coming from.
We are safe. We are safe as long as the war on terror continues. We are safe. we always have a market.
Okay.
So there's good things and bad things on the war on terror. You see, so it's swings and roundabouts.
People like us get a job.
Yeah. So anyway, good evening. So. We'll kick off straight away into games. Who shall we go first? We shall have Skazz.
I fucking knew that was coming. When don't they come? It's been a bit of a sketchy one for me, to be honest. There's been retro, all retro.
Oh, that's shit. We don't talk about that rubbish. So let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Well, I actually got punked out for my retro-ness. Well, strangely enough, not for actual retro. But playing a game has only just gone out of date.
Right.
I'll get to that in a second. So, well, actually, the game that's just gone out of date is Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers Ultimate has just come out, hasn't it, within the last, 24, 48 hours.
Yeah. And
me and my kids have been playing Smash Brothers on the WiiU. I ain't giving them a copy of Smash Brothers before Christmas. Are you clinically insane? And then all of that is people come on, oh, what? Come on, get with it. The new one's out. It's like, does that make the old one completely unplayable? Does it self-destruct and kill 2/3 of the third world?
Yes.
If shit, I do apologise.
Sorry,
That's what I'm saying. You know,
that's missed memo.
Yeah, again, this is what
I didn't realise I was so cruel.
We're going to get a bonus in the American government.
I'm a war criminal.
Basically, yeah.
I'm not going to use this because I wasn't following orders because I didn't know about it, so I'm safe.
I'm quite shocked.
At all. Now I know. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I will stop.
Good man.
It just kind of wound me up because, you know, the new one has only been out for 48 hours. Shut the fuck up. The old one, let's put it this way though, the Wii U one does suck. It sucks a big mighty leopard's cock. It is an awful game.
I thought the GameCube card wasn't quite so bad.
No, the GameCube one's right. N64, fine. GameCube game, alright. Wii version, was the Wii version the one where they took out the story mode because they were getting pissed off with YouTubers? Then the Wii U version came out.
And a story mode?
They basically do.
Subspace. They took it out because they didn't want YouTubers and streamers to have fun. Nintendo don't believe in fun; they believe in profits, which is kind of like what Sony does really these days. But and then the Wii U version's fucking trash. It is the characters control like fucking lead balloons. Anyway, that's why, by the way, the professional Smash tourneys always play the GameCube version, not the Wii or the Wii U version, because they're shit. So hopefully the Switch version improves on that, but I won't know for a while. So
no.
You know.
So they play the GameCube version. So are they playing these through emulation, or they got
no CRTs, mate? The Smash community for tourneys carrying around big fucking hulking CRTs.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, the Smash community goes hardcore. I hate Smash on the Wii U. It was fine on the 3DS, awful on the Wii U. You could kind of excuse its jankiness when it was on the 3DS because it was on the 3DS, but on the Wii, no. Characters played like crap. There was no real story mode. No one could understand what the hell was going on. It sucked. Anyway, that's not what I've been playing. That's just my rant against people who don't like things that are at least an hour old.
This is us cracking through the first part.
Yeah, it is. We're done. Excellent. Right, moving on. Before you go on to the next bit, we have a message from Scene Cat.
Yeah?
It says, Skazz will go YS on us.
East.
East.
East, yeah.
Pronounce it properly, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to cry as happening. Right, that is the game that I've been playing recently. The first game in the East series, I can never remember what the fuck it's called though.
East 1.
Something Omens. Although it's not something... Vanished Omen, something like that. Although if you look at the box, it's got a different title to what it shows you on the title screen.
Isn't it Book 1 or...?
No. East Book 1 is what they called the turbo version.
Ah, okay.
So it was just East, the Vanished Omens or something like that.
Right.
On the Master System.
Ancient Yeast Vanished Omen.
Yeah, there you go.
MSX.
Yeah, well, we're playing the Master System version. We're playing the version that gave me nightmares and still does. Still does.
What, through horror or through gameplay? Or
My God, that game is brutal. So, a little while ago, I played through East on the TurboGrafx CD.
Yes.
The PC Engine CD unit. And fucking fun. Great music, good gameplay. Not really hard. You can get through it in a day or so. It's a neat game. Now, I remember talking to people on that stream about a boss that I remember that made me want to cry. And in that boss, there are flames coming from the side of the screen, and you have to charge up and take out this mage in the middle. Oh, well, it don't move from left to right across the screen, just appear, teleport, move to the next space, and then you just have to run up and not get hit by the flames. That was the first boss in the game. However, it wasn't as soul-crushing as I remembered it. Until I played the Master System version! That was the soul-crushing one! So, in East, you play as Adol the Red, the redhead adventurer, who later becomes the main character of the entire East series. You travel to an island because you feel someone is summoning you, as you do in ancient RPGs from yesteryear, and So you're sailing to this island, it's basically a forbidden island. No fucker will go there because they reckon it's being attacked by monsters and all this kind of stuff. War-torn, fucked up place, you don't want to go there. Adol's like, no, I'm going there. So he goes, he gets on his fucking boat, he starts sailing over there, shipwrecked. Which is great, because this is where it deviates from the PC Engine version that everyone loves. I prefer the Story of the Master System version, because it's more true to the...
They all start with a shipwreck, don't they?
No!
I thought they always
not
did.
East Book 1 on the turbo. East Book 1
yeah.
on the turbo, Adol safely sails into port. Not a problem.
Right.
On East on the Master System, shipwrecked! Washed up on the beach, he's fucking dead! And then you have to go and find the fortune teller, who then says, can you help me find the books of East? You agree, and off you go on your adventure. It's a classic RPG in that it's an action RPG, so you're kind of running around. The closest thing you could consider an action RPG that most people know of is like Zelda. So it's like real time, you just run around and you hack up enemies and stuff like that. It's no turn-based stuff like Final Fantasy or whatever. You run at an enemy, the enemy runs at you, you fight, dead, good job. Except in East, you don't have an attack button. You just run at them. As long as you're moving, Adol is attacking.
A little bit like, what's the one with the big monsters everywhere? Not Monster Hunter. Oh,
now it's down.
So let's see, that's like every game on the planet.
That was originally on the Switch, the latest version. We'll come back to it anyway.
So you have to tackle enemies to attack them. And the game is purely based on stats. The PC Engine CD game is way more forgiving than the Master System game. The Master System game will say, you don't have the right sword right now, and I expect you to have this sword and be at this level right the fuck now. If you're not going to do any damage at all to anyone.
As it should be.
Good fucking job. Like, you run at it and you're wailing on the motherfucker for 10 minutes. You've done nothing. And then it just looks at you and you die. It's amazing. I've never played this game with the FM soundtrack. Okay, so told you how the game plays is a 2-button fair. You just run into enemies to do damage, grind, level up, get gold, get gear, travel through dungeons. You can show people the entire overworld map in a grand total of about 30 seconds. It's that short. It's that small of a world. The dungeons are what are the kind of meat of it, and they will take you a while. Game will take about 6 hours to beat. Not going into anything else about the story. You need to play it. So when the game was released in Japan, the Sega Mark III, which was the equivalent of our Master System, had an FM sound processor in it. The Japanese got pretty music. When we got it, they were like, what the fuck do Americans and British people want with good music? Give them some beeps. Right? So, I've never played the game with anything other than beeps and fluff. So this time round, we bought a Retro Freak. So this kind of ties in. Does anyone remember my love of the Retron 5 before it turns out the Hyperkin were fucking thieving Tyrone bastards?
Yes, we had that's a funny podcast. We had one podcast where it's like, oh, really fun Retron 5, and this podcast was, yeah, they're a bunch of arseholes. Yeah,
they fucking stole open source software and sold it. Well, in fairness, the guys who make the Cyber Freak aren't actually that much better from what I hear. However, we recently got a Cyber Freak. It's an emulation system. They claim it's about 11 or 12 in one, which isn't really true. It's a Japanese emulation console, and so obviously it's geared towards the Japanese market. Pretty much. So it's got a Famicom slot on it, it's got a Super Nintendo slot on it, it's got a Mega Drive slot on it, it's got a Game Boy slot on it, and it's got a PC Engine slot on it. Right, so you got 5 slots on it. Right? So why are they saying it plays all these different games? Well, let me tell you. Famicom becomes Famicom and NES, even though that's one console. Mega Drive also becomes the Genesis. Oh wait, there's 4 consoles now. The Game Boy slot is for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. The PC Engine cartridge slot is for PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16. Super Nintendo is also the Super Famicom. There's your 11. Oh my fucking god. And then you've got the Master System adapter, which also counts for, so we've got 11. So there's Master System's 12. Game Gear, it's 13.
Some of them were add-ons.
The Mark
weren't
III, yeah.
they? Yeah, as well.
They're all the same console! That doesn't actually play that many systems. Anyway,
It's got on the back of the box though.
well, it does. And in fairness, it does actually play all those consoles, and it does it relatively well.
It's handy to have Super Nintendo and Super Famicom and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's good to have a universal...
Rather than next to console, it's almost like console plus, isn't it, in a way? You can play a few games that you wouldn't normally have,
Yeah.
especially in this country, missed out on.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we never got PC Engine, so the fact that you can get an emulation console that actually plays PC Engine cue cards, fucking gravy. It's got a neat little trick that you can dump ROMs to an SD card. So if you get your cartridge, bam, stick it in, hit the button, dumps it to an SD card. So you can just play the ROM from the SD card from that point on, rather than having to put the cartridge in.
Does it have those save states?
Yes.
Yeah.
Save states, scan lines. You can read and write save files from the cartridge. So you can read them from the cartridge, play the game, and then write the save back to the cartridge. So if you play through the game, you want to put it back onto the cartridge to play it on the actual system, you can if you wish. Or if you want to use a hex editor to edit some stuff out, you can. You can also apply IPS translation patches with the system, so that if you put in your foreign game where you dump your foreign ROM, you can then apply fan patches to play the game in English or whatever. In fairness, if you've got an emulator on your laptop, you can do the exact same fucking thing, but it's kind of neat to dump your own ROMs, because then you know exactly what cartridges come from, the quality of the dump and stuff like that. There are some problems with it. And this does tie into that too. It does tie into EASE anyway. The power cable
has one.
Yes. So it's better than the Nintendo console right now, because it comes with a fucking power cable, and better than the Sony Classic portable whatever. What is that thing called? The PlayStation Mini.
I've got one, so only because I couldn't cancel it.
We'll
talk about that, and then
You had a lot of issues with getting stuff you couldn't cancel.
We'll talk about that in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, cool.
And the other game we'll talk about today.
Cool.
So look forward to that in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
How will you remember it all in 2 weeks' time?
Oh, that's amazing. It's easily searing.
As long as I haven't played anything else in the meantime.
That's alright then. Yeah, we'll try not to. We'll make a pact. We won't play anything between this podcast and the next one.
Yeah, not a thing. Yeah,
good.
Cool.
Yeah, the power supply. It's got a barrel jack. I fucking hate DC barrel jacks, especially cheaply fucking made ones.
So you love laptop power supplies then?
Well, the thing with laptop power supplies is they have a firm click when you stick them in. Right?
Have you seen my Dell?
Well, with the exception of your Dell. Your Dell's fucking made out of papier fucking mache and fucking spit. But
that's not too much spit in either.
This thing is, it's a 5. The problem is it's fucking 5 volts. 5 volts, 2 amps. Give me a USB cable, you bastards. But no.
The good thing about barrel jacks is if you ever need to buy a replacement one, is you got to think: is it sensor positive or negative?
Don't get me started. Well, here's the trick. Because I looked into it, because you plug it in, if you even slightly move the console, at least on my unit, that cable just flies the fuck out. Oh great, GG. Yeah, the cable just comes out. It just pops clean out the back. There's no actual proper fit for it to stay in the console on mine. It's very loose. It will stay in, but as soon as you move that console, like lift it up to take the memory card out the back, the cable will just pop right out. It's like, great.
Maybe that's so you can disconnect it easily.
Oh yeah, clearly. Yeah. Well, the next problem
it's like the MagSafe connector from an old Mac, isn't it?
The next problem, the memory card. So, this thing can dump ROMs, but it can also just play ROMs pulled off the internet. Just load them onto the SD card, pop them in. If it has to load up, say, anything more than, we approximate anything over 800 games, expect to wait a long time for it to boot. Because every time every time it boots, it passes the whole list. The sort of thing. It doesn't just check and then dump it to a database. It does make a database. I don't know what it's for yet, because it clearly isn't for remembering what games are on that memory card.
It's a database it makes, but it's then dumped into RAM.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, that's what it's doing something. Whatever it's doing, it's taking a long time. After I dumped an entire collection on there, 6 minutes to start the console up.
Ooh.
6 minutes. Worse, if you do anything with that memory card, copy a save file, dump another ROM, 6 more minutes.
That's almost better than the 360.
You can see what it's doing. It obviously wants to try and always make sure your list is up to date by checking it every time. But it'd be far better if it's a case of manually refreshing it.
Yes, but no.
Also, 6 minutes to pass through 800 times is a little bit disturbing.
Well, no. I put in over about 5,000 at this point. 6 minutes. Right. But it's about for roughly every 1,000, you're talking about a minute-ish. 45 seconds to a minute, thereabouts, depending on what type of files you got. Gravy. It will automatically organise the ROMs though, so if you just throw them all into one folder, it will organise them into their own specific categories and shit like that. Good job. Way too long to boot.
There's no perfect emulator right there, and there's a retro emulator.
Raspberry Pi! I put the exact same ROM collection on my Raspberry Pi. Do you know how long that takes to boot? With CD games as well?
Well, with Raspberry Pi, probably about 15 seconds.
15 seconds? Fuck me, mate. Less. Either way, I can be in game within like a couple of seconds of plugging it in. Ready to go. And a CD game, which obviously the Retro Freak can't do. Okay, so those are my two main beefs with it. The fact that you can dump cartridges is almost the saving grace of it. Now, the reason I think they've given you a barrel jack is because this is a company that also made console accessories and cheat cards back in the day. If you go to their website in Japanese and type in AC adapter, the only thing that they give you, remember I told you earlier, 5 volts 2 amps? The only power supply they have on their site that I could find easily was a 5 volt 2 amp barrel jack PSP charger. What do you think they're using for the Retro Freak? It's a PSP barrel jack. Huh. It's the exact same barrel jack they used on the PSP back in 2000 and whatever. They must have had a stock of them on the shelf and just thought, fucking just bundle them in. That'll do. So there's where you get that. Fucking great.
I did a midnight launch for PSP.
Yeah, I got one from Japan. I bought mine from Lick-Sang. Rest your soul, Lick-Sang. Fuck you, Sony.
PSP always sounds to be like some sort of like drug you find in a nightclub.
Yeah, that was great.
Should have put some PSP.
That was fucking great, mate.
Yeah,
just fucking lay there convulsing on the
floor.
floor.
Second analog stick.
Yeah, it did.
Machine desperately.
You had East games on there.
I had some great games. Just that second stick would have saved it, really.
It really would have done. But the fact you could connect that to your TV if you got a Gen 2, that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
But so there's where your barrel jack comes from. It's got a trick, 2 tricks. One, there's a USB adapter on it, so it's got 3 ports to use control pads on it. And it comes with a USB pad. The USB pad is shit. If you're playing anything that requires precise inputs, the D-pad's trash. Buttons are fine, D-pad's trash. RPGs, not a problem. But everything else, it's shit.
Right, yeah.
Right, so fighting games or whatever, you're not going to be playing them. My performance was significantly dropped.
Nowhere near precise enough. So.
Not even close.
Does it only accept its own USB pads, or can you get third parties?
You can get third parties, and here's the trick. Here's a neat little thing that comes with it. If you buy the premium version, which ain't cheap! It's not cheap by any stretch. It comes with a little USB attachable box.
You should have bought it with you.
I haven't even talked about the box.
No, right.
But
console.
It's got a little box that you plug into the USB port, and that allows you to plug in a Super Nintendo pad, a Mega Drive pad, a Master System pad, any of the systems that basically it advertises, you know, PC Engine. You can plug in the original pads into the system and play with those. Good. You can also use PS4 pads, Xbox pads if you wire them in. They will work just the fine. So the other part, it's got another party trick which is kind of neat. which is why I would have preferred it came with a USB cable. The entire console, it's like this white fucking like brick. You can actually, if you look at where the cables are connected in the back, so power cable, HDMI, and a memory card, you'll notice there's some kind of lines around the side of it. It's just like a little rectangle. You can pull that out. That's the entire console. That's the heart of the console. You can put that in your pocket, take your control pad with you and your power supply, and connect it up to a telly like you would a Raspberry Pi or something. The main bulk of the console is just literally a cartridge reader for that little box, for the little ARM box. So it actually does become quite portable, and it's not too much of a problem to boot if you don't have a huge amount of games on there. So if you're just dumping your own ROMs, it's not going to be a huge problem. I've been using it to play Japanese games, or to use my actual Japanese Super Famicom games and stuff. It's been alright. I mean, admittedly, you can just play the ROMs, the pre-patched ROMs on Raspberry Pi, but it's kind of neat to take your cartridge, stick it in, dump the ROM, or just play it and then patch it and play a game in English. It's just kind of neat. And then to write that save back onto the cartridge, and you know, you've still got your Dragon Quest save, which is kind of neat. So you can then back up saves from your old Pokemon games before the batteries run out and stuff. Kind of, you know, kind of neat. Now, I've been using it to play Ys because, as I said, the Japanese Master System equivalent had an FM sound chip. Ys had an FM soundtrack. I'd never heard it in my life, ever.
I've heard about that.
Retro Freak plugged the cartridge in, loaded a patch to restore the FM soundtrack onto the Retro Freak, said now load this patch whenever I load this game, and then it was playing the game with the with the FM soundtrack.
Was it good?
Gorgeous!
I know those games do have a good reputation for their soundtracks.
And I did the same thing with Phantasy Star as well. Restored the FM soundtrack to that. Gorgeous. So there's the trick, Retro Freak. It's got its flaws, but it is kind of neat.
I have often been tempted by those retro consoles.
Just
and
so you know, if anyone is interested, even though I've just kind of shat on it and praised it at the same time, PlayAsia are currently taking pre-orders for the Black Sega Genesis edition, which comes with the Master System converter. Mine came with an NES pack. The Sega one comes with a Game Gear Master System and the card reader thing.
Oh yeah, that came along later. Yeah.
Well, no, that came with Gen 1. They took it out of Gen 2. That will all be there on the...
That was never over here, was it? Was there only...
Yeah, I got cards on Gen 1. Because I've got Super original Hang-On, on Master System card.
I didn't realise that.
It's on PlayAsia for 112. Now, if you buy the Retro Freak in the UK, get ready to pay about 179 quid.
That's not that bad, really,
Well, not really, but
for fans that can play inverted air quotes 11 consoles.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Well, the number is increasing every time they release an expansion module for it.
I know that's Super NT, you see, but that doesn't obviously have the emulator stuff. You just
well, the Super
emulating, but you know.
Well, no, it's an FPGA. It's not really emulation.
It's more or less as close to the original hardware as. It's probably the best way to play a lot of those consoles these days, really.
It will be. I mean, they're pretty expensive anyway, aren't they? So
yeah, not as bad. Like the original. Yeah, around about that. The original one was really expensive, wasn't
400
it? Yeah, because they made it with top end.
Yeah,
like materials
parts from the original NES in an aluminium body.
Yeah.
Then they made the NT Mini, which was still pretty fucking expensive, but that was an FPGA.
Yeah, and the Super NT was a lot less, but also
Super NT was about 200 quid still.
And then the Mega NT is next year, March,
about £200 as well.
Yeah, I think about £180.
Yeah,
$200.
And in fairness, I'd pay it.
Yeah, I am very, very tempted by that after Christmas and everything.
For an FPGA Mega Drive, that takes original cartridges, plays with American and Japanese.
I'm just going to pause the podcast for 1 second because Minibicer keeps pushing his legs against the table. Sorry, audio listeners. There you go. Are you happy now?
Is it against there where I'm doing it?
Yeah, because you keep bringing it. That's going to.
I don't feel it.
Well, that will hear it. May not feel it. That will hear it.
I'll be more careful as well.
Sorry, this is right. Resume podcast.
Yeah, it's an alright. It isn't bad for the money in the grand scheme. But when you realise that Funstock UK, which is also the place that sells the Retron 5 in the UK, when you realise that they were selling the premium edition for 75 quid off, no more than a week before I bought mine, you feel a bit chapped there.
You'd recommend it for people that aren't like avid collectors, but people that want to get into it and see what it's all about.
Even if you've got an import collection and you want to dump the original game, the original saves, and keep your save games on the cartridges, get a Retro Freak.
Yeah. And also, I suppose, to buy all that hardware separately, the actual original hardware now.
Don't even get me started, because I've got a lot of it upstairs.
Well, you see what I'm saying? Again, if you want, as you say, if you want to get into and play retro, this is a good way to do it.
My PC Engine Core Graphics 2 costs 130 quid. The Retro Freak will play all of the same games that my PC Engine will.
There you go.
With the exception of CDs.
It's great to have those on consoles, but they, like you said, they are expensive and they do go wrong quite often.
They are quite temperamental.
These days, you know.
You were talking last week about I want to get some old PC hardware so I can load up Windows 98 and stuff and sort of play old games on classic systems. I had a quick look. Bloody hell, people say Windows 98 PCs for 600 quid.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Thankfully, I've still got my Pentium 1.
Have you seen that latest thing on Metal Jesus Rocks? Because he lives in near Seattle. There's a place in there called like RePC, and there's like a massive warehouse of all, like, you can get all the bits to make a Windows 98 really, really cheap. They even have fully set up Windows 98 consoles for
what I'm going to do
$160.
is I'm going to go to local college. I'm going to go into one of their new tech labs. And they might have just upgraded to Windows 98, and I'll nick one of their machines.
It's a bit optimistic, maybe they have.
Don't fucking even start, mate. I want to cry.
If I'm lucky, they might put an SE version of it on there. You never know.
My mate was working at Yarko College a while back, installing all their networking. They were throwing computers out the top floor windows, just missing skips. I was like, what a waste.
Yeah.
I would have had one.
They were lobbing the monitors and all of it. I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Well, there's scrap. It's like, so fucking what, mate?
I think if you live in Seattle, that's
that was a highly engineered piece of equipment. You know how much work and time and pressure
they were
they
even
spent.
lobbing server grade gear out the window.
I would have had
enough
that.
to make you want to fucking cry.
I would have gone there too. I would have gone to down for them. Yeah. I had it.
That's why I said to her, I said, why didn't you tell her? I was like, well, because we didn't think anyone would want it. I was like, are you stoned? Like, Christ, mate. Trying to get hold of that stuff from scalpers online is a nightmare.
Yeah, I just took it all and sold it.
It's like, I've got racks of old server equipment in my garage.
My heart bleeds already thinking about it.
I was sad. It was fucking horrible. But
I don't have that connection with that stuff, but I can still see the lunacy of it.
I've still got my old, like I said, I've still got my old Pentium 1.
Yeah, we don't talk about my old PCs.
Got my old Pentium 1, I've got my Athlon 3000 upstairs.
The old Athlons. I like them.
I love my Athlon 3000. We call it Frankenstein these days because the machine has had to be brought back to life with spare parts I found from other
When I was at college, one of my colleagues went and bought because AMD were a bit weird at one point. He went and bought an AMD processor with 6 cores.
I think they'd have been college.
No, when I was at college, university.
No, I've got the 6-core AMD.
So, why would you make 6 cores? Why are you doing a power of 2?
I've got a tri-core and a hex core.
Yeah,
the tri-core's in that room, the hex core's in that.
Why would you do 3 cores? Why wouldn't you do a power of 2?
Because the tri-core was a quad core with a subpar core. So they disabled the quad core because it wasn't performing to spec and made it a tri-core. So if you were lucky and won the Silicon Lottery, you could have bought a tri-core at a reduced price and unlocked the 4th core. And then you've got your quad core for a fraction of the price.
Groovy.
Think I thought they had an aquarium. It's not the aquarium. It's just like we've all got colostomy bags plugged in at the moment.
Yeah.
Charming.
But,
I've had to change Tom's away twice away tonight.
It's insane. But so the Retro Freak was neat. He still gives me fucking nightmares because it turns out that I've gone and broken my save. I'm right at the end of the game.
Okay. You not hack the save? Hex edit it or something?
No, there's no point.
Are you afraid to load out then?
Thankfully, I saved in 3 different slots.
No.
One of them. So the end of the game takes place in the Tower of the Doomed as the Master System translation. 21 floors, 21 rooms. A couple bosses, find all your gear again because you get mugged or some shit. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to try and navigate because I always forget where I'm going.
Oh, me too.
And,
Was it one of those, oh no moments, like, I can't be fucked moments?
No, I was save scumming it like a twat. So I'd like, oh yeah, I've killed these guys because I'd lost. I'd got to a point where I needed to find a new sword, but I knew that the end boss, and there was a sword in the dungeon, but the end boss of the game required you to fight him with the step under the best sword in the game, because he can't handle being hit with items made of silver, because silver is the holy metal of the land. So I was like, fuck, I don't need that sword. Went rocking through into this area, saved, the teleporter's closed behind me, the only way is forwards. Forwards takes me to the next boss. I can't hit the next boss with the silver sword. I need, because of my stats are slightly too low by about 10 points, I don't do any damage at all. Without that sword, I can't do anything to the boss in front of me. I am locked in that place. So I'm going to have to load up. Thankfully I made a previous save. I'm going to have to load up the save from before that was 3 hours ago and go through the entire tower again.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen Cat says you got towered.
Yeah, I got fucking ruffle stomped by that motherfucker. It's really, I love the game though. I still love the game, and I plan to finish the Master System version tomorrow. I plan to actually finish a couple more East games between now and like,
Next podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be great. I'm not going to talk about East because I think we all.
Yeah, we don't talk about the next podcast.
Yeah,
it'd be uncouth to talk about East in the next podcast.
When are we talking about Game of the Year?
Next podcast.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks time.
You're kind of fucked on that one then. Spoilers.
You got 2 weeks to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh no, mate, that's been confirmed since when it came out. But yeah, Retro Freak, great. Play the East games. The Master System is nasty. It is cheap. It is cruel. But my God, is it satisfying when you go through it and kick the shit out of it. And that FM soundtrack is the sex, mate. I'm just saying.
Cool then.
Excellent. Well, I've been playing. Pick this up. Well, I say pick it up. I've got on the
He's been
husband.
playing East too.
Yeah. Now, I'm playing Sniper Elite 4. Italia. I own all the Sniper Elite games, but this is the first one I've actually played.
Is this a DLC or something? The Italia bit?
No, it says Sniper Elite 4 Italia. I think this is the subtitle of the game.
Oh, okay.
It says on, I assume it's Sniper Elite. I think it's just Sniper Elite 4 on Steam. That when you own it, it says Sniper Elite 4.
Is that the
logo.
one
So it's not the Italian version?
No.
Is that the sniper game that was made in England?
I have no idea.
It's one with all the bone crunchiness, I think, isn't
Was
it?
that the one that was made in England?
Well,
We had a sniper game made in England. Apparently, my
There's
father-in-law
Ghost
did
Warrior,
modelling for it.
There's Cyber Elite and Ghost Warrior, isn't
I
there?
ain't got a clue.
well, I am playing. I said I own the Sniper Elite games, but I actually got around to playing one until this one came. This was actually the one that was released last year,
Oh, right.
so it's quite a new game.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, it is actually. Well, I play lots of new games, but they're usually games that you've never heard of. Because they're not a AAA classic.
That's it, yeah. I do play quite a lot
They're
of
not,
indie games.
they're not
but
made by like a major publisher of 5,000 people on the team.
I do play a few indie games.
Such as?
The Messenger, Dead Cells,
Owlboy.
Owlboy, yeah.
Fair enough.
That strategy game, Into the Breach.
You know that game with those characters that did the thing?
Yes.
Yeah, Into the Breach.
It's so no, so I've not played the previous ones. I don't know how similar this is to the previous ones.
Cool.
So I'm going to take my impressions of it. And
When you shoot people,
you shoot people.
then it's pretty similar to the other one.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like the best way I thought about it was this is like when I was playing. I was thinking this is like Hitman meets Dishonored meets Far Cry. Because it seems like they've cherry-picked all these different mechanics and different game systems and like, popped it all into one game. It's really weird. And you sort of like shows it. So you start off, every level's like a big open area, a la Dishonored and Hitman, which I'm saying because Hitman's more modern than Dishonored.
I'm going to say, isn't Sniper really older than them?
It is, yeah. But I'm saying this is what Silent Hill 4 feels like to me. So I've not played the previous one, so I can't comment how close. This might be very similar to the previous ones. I can't comment on that. This is how I felt when I was playing. It's like, oh, this is like that, and like that, and like that.
It's very similar to 3 from what I understand.
Yeah.
I
So-
can't remember 2 or 1.
You get dumped in this openish area. It's not huge, and you have a series of main objectives. Usually 1 or 2 like main objectives, and then like a series of sub objectives you can do as well. like it's the first, like one is like, you know, kill this one specific guy, and you know then go around and you can
shoot Hitler in the testicle.
I haven't found Hitler yet. If he's in there, I haven't found it yet. But yeah, you sort of wander around complete objectives and sort of one this big sort of open area, and yeah. So I mean, first of all, things I don't like about it, I hate the main character. Fucking awful main character. They've gone for the over-the-top, butch, gruffly, gravelly American soldier type character.
Who doesn't exist.
Who doesn't exist. Well, I'll tell you what, it feels like, again, it feels like they're trying to emulate BJ.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work in this game where it's all about being quiet and stealthy and sneaky. He doesn't fit.
Sure.
And it feels awful. It's like every time he speaks, like, oh, just shut up.
Duke Nukem meets Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, like, just shut the fuck up, man. I really can't stand you. So you have these objectives, and between you and the objectives are lots of Nazis that you get to shoot.
Yeah, it's usually.
Yeah. So the episode, that was quite open. I mean,
as you see, BJ Blazkowicz just rocking his way through the level in front of you as you're about to line up the shot.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is he doing?
The game.
Blazkowicz, stop!
Yeah, you could play the game aggressively and shooty way, but it's obviously tend to be played stealthily.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, your default load that you get a sniper rifle, you get a machine gun, and you get a silenced pistol.
A deck of playing cards.
Yeah,
we waiting for a while.
You get some medical kits and some stick grenades as well. Why you have stick grenades, not normal grenades, I don't know.
Because stick grenades look cooler.
Yeah, the old potato mashers. Those take a lot more space up in your uniform. Yes, you can throw them further, but they are a bit of pain. But yeah, the stealth mechanics are a little bit. Again, copying other games. Not say copying other games. I want to say like other games.
It's not very Metro then.
No.
He stepped on glass 6 miles away.
It does. They do hear things, but it tells you everything. So if you make a noise, you get this little thing that says "sound was heard." It's like, couldn't you put the enemy to like say something like, "I thought I heard a noise over there."
You probably did, but you didn't.
Hands, go investigate that noise. It might be a rat. That sort of thing.
It might be a rat. It might be the Amazon delivery guy.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It's an American soldier. How do you know? I heard a noise.
They do always say, it's a commando. It's like, how the fuck do you know he's a commando? You just see a soldier, you're not going to think, oh shit, it's a commando, I can see his uniform he's wearing. You're going to think, shit, enemy soldier, shoot him.
Oh shit, it's that bloke from that time who's approximately 6'2", weighs 310 pounds.
And he sounds like BJ from a different universe. And yeah, but so you have
pulls out his fucking life story.
I mean, you have on your mini maps. You got your mini map, and it shows you where the enemies are. But until you tag them, and you tag them by looking through a pair of binoculars.
That's new.
But you have to, you can't just look at them, you have to click to say, I want to tag this person. Which seems really weird, because you're going to tag everybody you see. Why wouldn't you? Because when you tag him, it shows you which direction they're facing. So by default, you just see a dot. You don't see any, but then when you tag them, you don't get to see which direction they're facing.
Yeah, like a cone of view.
You don't see a cone of view, but you get to see their direction.
Oh, okay.
So at least you have an idea roughly where their cone of view is. It seems weird to insist that you actually have to click on it. You can also tag other things. You can tag objects like explosive barrels. I mean, one quite neat thing is you can tag vehicles, and it'll like say, okay, it'll highlight all the vulnerable points like the wheels. Who knew? Full tank. Who knew? And so forth. It highlights those vulnerable bits when it tells you like status. Okay, front wheel okay, rear wheel okay. It's like I don't need to
driver.
Do you have a knife so you can go stabby?
You can. It's also you have a knife in your inventory, but if you're close enough, you press the action key and you'll just stab.
Yeah.
That's weird. I've never known a knife to just teleport into my hand.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. My favourite thing to do is hide in the bushes, and when an enemy walks over, I just jump. I hide in the bushes. I just wait for an enemy to walk over, and like a trapdoor spider, just jump up and stab them through the neck. But also, when you tag people and you scan them, you get like little watchdog style information bits appear. So I'll say like, hates his mother.
How the fuck did you know that?
This is called Allied Intelligence. It's hilarious. Like, so-and-so was conscripted in 1942. It gives you their name and so forth. And it's like, how did Allied Intelligence actually bother to research all the soldiers on this island to find out? Just so I knew. Just so I knew. It's sort of thinks Hitler's a bit of a dick. That sort of thing comes up. But
he's all right with me then.
It does make you do some weird things. So I come across one that said, saved the POW's life by rendering first aid when they found them down. So I thought, yeah, mate, you're not going to die. I'm going to leave you alive. Just kill you. The best one I found was...
I'm going to take your kneecaps, though.
Well, no, you see, the thing is, you can't really do that. You either kill them or you don't. can't really sort of say about them. There's no.
What do you mean I can't?
There's no non-lethal option in this game.
What do you mean I can't fucking cripple someone?
Yeah, you can't non-lethally take someone down stealthily like you can. It's just
I'm just throwing out there. I'm pretty sure if I kneecap someone, that's not lethal.
Well, what's amusing is I come across one guy and I just decided to wind him up because it just said.
Just decided to wind him up by shooting him in the testicle.
I'll tell you what it said. It said thinks he's going to die on this island. So at that point, I'm going to kill.
Challenge accepted.
No. At that point, I'm going to kill everybody else but him.
Just like shoot his mate.
Oh, sorry,
then you stand up. You're right, mate. How you doing?
I'm just going to leave him.
Right.
And I did. I shot everybody else except him, and I thought he's going to go thinking I thought I was going to die, but all my friends did instead.
The hell?
Pretty cold.
Yeah. So wait, how does stealth work? So. Like Far Cry. Well, like Far Cry, as soon as the enemy starts to see you, you get a little bar appear on the screen, a little arrow point direction to the enemy, and it starts to fill up.
Oh, man.
But it's colour coded by either orange or red. So red means they know you're about, they're looking for actively hunting you down, they know you're there. Basically, they know your position. And orange is like they've heard something, they suspect something's going on, they're investigating. And white is.
Far Cry used to do that, didn't they? I think in
Not
Far 5, but in the old one it went red, didn't it?
I don't think it goes red, but the old one definitely has the progress bar.
Yeah, the little dude.
So how their stealth works, they do this thing called triangulation, and I think the developers don't really know what triangulation means. So if you fire a weapon, or anything like that, they hear it. They initially don't know exactly where it's from, but you'll go in your little blip, a little triangle, hence the name triangulation, although it's not to do with triangulation, showing where they think they've heard the noise from, but they're not too sure. So it's like the investigating noise. Now this is where it gets clever. Some levels will have like ambient noise, like for example, level might have planes flying over. When the plane's flying over, if you fire a weapon when the plane's flying over, they won't hear it because the noise will mask the sound of your weapon. They'll still go investigating mode, so they'll hunting. They won't know roughly where you are.
For them to know.
Well, they don't. Yeah. So you can actually, if you keep waiting for the planes to go overhead or the artillery to fire, for example, you can take them all out. So you won't know where you
Isn't that
fire.
the smartest thing to do anyway? You
Well,
wait
yes.
for the bigger gun to go off before you fire your little gun.
Yeah, and you can also do things like there's these generators.
Holy
and
shit, people around here keep dying every time we fire off a shell.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop.
Yeah. Well, you find these generators as well, and you can go up to the generators, and it says you can either rig them to explode, or you can tell them to sound makers. I thought generators were quite noisy anyway. What he does is, quite amusingly, if you want to turn to a sound maker, he kicks it.
Yes, you do.
He kicks the generator and just starts conveniently making these banging noises that sound conveniently like a bullet firing up, which the enemies don't mind. But it's a generator. And
that's that wonky generator again.
And what your generator
gets to buy one of them bloody Hondas.
Yeah. And that's what then you can let mask your sound in a nearby area. If they do detect you, once they've found you, again, likewise, you get a little red triangle appear around you, and that's where they last know you are. So if you sort of run and hide, you can see it, and you show up like a little ghost outline on the screen, so you know where they think you are.
Yeah,
and they're quite clever. Yeah, they're quite clever. They'll flank it, they'll like throw grenades, and they'll basically try and assault that position, which means if you quickly reposition yourself, you can sort of like almost wait for them to get to, if you're like quick, they think, if you know where they think you are, you can get sort of like almost behind them and wait for them to run up there and take them out, and then you can basically start taking from behind. That's basically, I said the triangulation doesn't make real sense because they're not triangulating your position.
No.
Stealth-wise, you get bonuses being stealth. Like other games, you get XP, but it's based on, you get lots of different factors, like where you hit people, how far away you are, what weapon you used, how quiet you were, lots of things, and then you get XP and then you upgrade ranks and so forth. So stealth in it's one of those games though, I've very quickly learned how the stealth mechanics worked, and the enemies don't really keep you guessing. The only real way to be threatened by them is if there's just lots of them around, and then they sort of put in this position where there's lots of them around, it's very hard to sneak past because there's just so many of them. But if you're going to fight, the stealth mechanics well enough that you can just literally wipe them all out quite quickly. So it's not quite well balanced. They do have a lot of enemies. I was playing on the normal difficulty. Okay. I always play games when you're on normal. Whatever the default one, I don't usually go for easy or hard, just do sort of middle of the road.
I do it too.
Well, basically,
not on everything.
Well, apparently, from the way they describe it, what happens is you go up higher difficulties. They basically make the bullet mechanics more accurate.
If it's a game I think I'm going to like, that's quite short, like the Uncharted games. I play it on hard just so it will last longer.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. So, go on to combat. So, obviously, if you're free range, let's say free range weapons. So you've got your pistol, which is by default you have a silenced pistol, you have a machine gun, and you have your sniper rifle. Sniper rifle will come to last because that aim is about being sniper. Your pistol is very inconsistent with how it works, I find. So you can literally aim at a guy who's quite far away, and you can shoot and you'll take him on one hit. He can be standing literally on top of you, and you can be aiming at his face. A whole reticle covers his entire face. You're far, he won't die, and it takes you now 4 shots to the face to kill him. And this is a pistol that's single shot.
Maybe it's better with distances in terms of how it works.
Well, it's very weird because it just feels inconsistent. Because basically, I think I don't use my pistol. It's a silenced pistol. I'm not close to somebody. I'm not going to use it because it's just too much of a risk. It's not going to work.
Usually one of my favourite weapons in the game, silenced pistol.
I get it up at range. I get it because I understand it's not going to be accurate range. But literally up close, I'm like this far away as I'm from Tom, and I'm aiming right at his face. I go bang. He goes, "What the fuck was that?" You just had a pistol shot to your face. You should be going, "Ow, I'm dead."
Now, mate, you got to do what I do in Far Cry: stealth shotgun. Sort it every time.
The machine gun, which works like if you play machine gun, works. It's third person this game. Machine, and even when you, apart from the sniper rifle, when you aim with anything, it's all third person. Neat though, has one thing. It's an over shoulder shooter. But one thing this game has got, which I don't see in many over shoulder shooters, a button to switch shoulders. So if you're over the right hand shoulder.
Third person.
Yeah, they do.
Well, obviously you played the wrong ones then.
Even Red Dead gives you the.
Once you play the wrong ones, where it went
Army of Two, all the way back in like 2008, was doing that.
Yeah,
well,
Gears of War.
Thank goodness they learned from it, did it? I see the ones I've played having the option.
Yeah.
So you can, but it just plays like when you play with machine gun, it just plays like a normal shooter basically. But even that, like you can shoot people like 6 times in the head and won't
Spec
die.
Ops: The Line.
I never really needed the Spec Ops line, to be honest.
Well, I'm just saying you could swap shoulders if you
I
wanted.
never needed it.
Yeah, I rarely ever use it, but
Well, it's not a case of whether or not you fucking need it. It's a
I
case of
don't
it had it.
know. Anyway, we're digressing. Anyway, so then you get onto the sniper rifle, the meat of the game, the sniper rifle.
It's shit.
No, it's quite neat. It works quite well. So the sniper mechanics in it are, they go from being, you can have it like basically almost arcadey like to quite heavy, serious and so forth. You have to take bullet drop. The sniper rifle has got bullet drop, but it has got this, not a proper aim assist, but like an aim helper. So if you see someone at range and you sort of hover over them once you've tagged them, it will show you a point. It'll basically it'll like put a second like reticle on the map on your scope, which is where your bot will actually go. So you can then adjust and aim up to aim assist. So it allows you to. It's not perfect, but allows you to at least sort of adjust your distance reasonably well. Which I mean, I'm playing that on at the moment, and it's an aim helper rather than aim takeover. So I don't mind that so much. But when you fire your sniper rifle, what it often does, it goes into this cinematic mode where you follow the bullet and you see it fly across the screen, fly up to the enemy. This has been a lot of, I know it's been a lot of sniper games, sniper elite games. Fly up to the enemy, and then you see the enemy go into like this X-ray mode where you see all their bones and ligaments and all stuff, and you see the bullet go flying through them and basically exploding out the head.
It does look good, that stuff.
I don't like it.
Oh, you
that's
don't
a bit
like
too.
it?
That's what I was about to say. What's his beef?
That's a
When he
bit
does
too
something.
gruesome for me, actually.
Okay.
If it was just the head bit, not all the skull and stuff. That's
It's
a bit
very
too,
full on.
See, I
That's
don't complain about that at all. I've seen a lot more gruesome stuff than that.
I don't know why, but this feels a bit too gruesome for me in this game. I've seen. I mean, it's not I've seen. It's just I don't know.
Is that a place or something?
Yeah, I tell you, it annoys me that fact that it doesn't do it. It does it nearly, not always, but nearly every single time you fire the sniper rifle.
Could get a bit old, I guess.
It sort of outlives as well. It's sort of like the novelty wears off quite quickly. To the point that I've switched it off now because you see it's actually irritating more than anything because it's after the first couple of times.
Slow.
Yeah. That's it. It takes too much time out of the game. After when you were like sort of taking out 3 people, doing like quick session, you want that bit of a flow.
Yeah.
It's like first person, slow mo, bullet shoot him, and then it flips back to you. You've got to quickly then like recompose yourself.
Maybe they should only do it if it's a really good kill.
Yeah,
or tricky shot on the
just
boss or whatever.
Good kill, and it should be like every 10th one or something. Well, all named characters, not every single soldier. Because it is just like it's
Nah,
just too
then
common.
you miss all the really funny. I've just shot him in the bollocks.
Yeah.
All like it's a hard balance to it, but it's just like it's got old quite quickly. It's just
I understand the repetition of it would piss you off, but I don't think it's that gruesome. I've been seeing.
Oh no, I found for some reason it didn't sit well with me. I mean, I've seen far more gruesome things, but for some reason that just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
I don't know why. Honestly, don't know why, but it's just like
I would agree with you on the repetition, but the gruesome nature of it, no.
Yeah,
it does get very repetitious quite quickly, if I'm honest.
There's quite a few games that do stuff like that, though, and it fucking like the glory kills in Doom. Everyone said to me, I love those. I love Doom 2016. Was a bit worried about it to start with, but fuck me, those glory kills are so slow.
Watching the glory kills on video stuff, they don't bother me. They don't bother me at all. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but anyway, and it's just I don't know what it is about games. Just everything about it. It's sort of like when you feel a game that's almost good. That's wrong. Almost going to be really good, but it's not quite there. It's like
I've never quite been there. Those games.
You can just see it's reaching for it. It's almost got there.
You can see where it's supposed to be or where it could have been. But it's just lacking that little bit of polish.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an X factor missing from it.
It's supposed to be quite a bit better than the ones that went before.
Well, I'm pleased with it,
anyway.
I don't know, but this one, it's just something missing from this. I can't quite place it. The control scheme, some of the control decisions are a little bit weird. Something I've encountered again. You'll probably say, "Oh, I know thousands of games that do this," but ladders. Okay, I'm used to you go onto a ladder. Either it's like you have to push a button to attach to it, and then you walk down it, or you go on a ladder and I've been trained by probably many first-person shooters, to be fair, that the back button makes you go down, the forward button makes you go up. That's been trained.
Yeah.
In this game, if you approach the ladder, so imagine the camera's behind the character and the ladder's in front of him going down something. So the ladder's going down. Okay, you walk forward onto the ladder. You have to keep pushing forwards to go down it because that's where the camera is behind you.
Yeah, it depends on momentum. I've played a few games that are like that. So if you're walking towards the ladder and then the character attaches, you have to keep holding forwards to keep going down.
That completely throws me every single time.
It does.
I keep automatically pushing the down key to climb down, and then what happens is he just climbs back up again.
Like Resident Evil with all the camera switcheroos in the old days.
Yeah,
because it doesn't register the camera swap of it swinging around behind the character going down. You have to keep pressing forwards to go down the ladder.
It really throws me every single time. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but just it's not great. It's not. There's something about it hasn't quite magically made.
That's almost the same issue I had with Far Cry 3. I remember it being really, really good, and then when I came back to it, it just didn't quite seem to have that same polish that I remember it having.
Yes.
But then when what I remember of Far Cry is a damn sight better looking than what it actually was.
I felt like when I played the PS4, like the free remaster thing, that doesn't look great, does it?
You were looking to yourself. Well, no, because here's the thing, right? I was playing it on PC on my last playthrough.
Even the better.
But when I started it, I was playing it on the Xbox. I was like, oh, that's what the fuck? This game is supposed to look really good. Then I looked at the Xbox version later on. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this game looks shite. But then, rose tinted glasses at the time. It was
a lot of the time,
I've played quite a few games that they're supposed to be really good, but there's just this one little piece that's missing.
Yeah.
Or when you talk about janky controls, the 3 Wolfenstein games I played recently, all different controls. No, I fucking did. One of the weirdest control schemes I played recently was Homefront: The Revolution. Why they decided to put all of the action keys you'd need in a line rather than a cluster? Yeah, so like health, what was it? It was heal was H, so that was a hell of a stretch anyway. And then another key you needed was directly next to that, and then another one was a leap over that as well.
Yeah.
And so I always found in a firefight when I needed to quickly heal, I would press the other button to go
Yeah.
into like inventory or something like that, and then get shot to solder.
They're normally in a little sort of plastic
Yeah,
thing,
like
aren't they?
in a line near movement.
It's another thing actually. There's no sort of controls I had, and this is getting muscle memory issues. Not really its fault, it's just muscle memory. So you to throw a grenade, so you basically have like a utility slot.
That was it. I might have been pressing grenade rather than heal a lot when I was playing.
Well, you have a utility slot which is either has your health pack or your grenade or something else in it,
Yeah.
and you sort of flip between the different modes. If you have a grenade, to throw a grenade, you hold down the utility button, which is like a set button. You hold it down, then when you release it, it throws. To cancel it, you press the fire button.
Okay.
The amount of times I've held on the button to aim the grenade and then ultimately hit the fire button to throw it, and it's cancelled. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. That's muscle memory. That's not really the game's fault. That's muscle memory just kicking in.
Yeah.
And what was the other one I kept making mistakes? Oh, binoculars. So binoculars, I'm so used to in games, the binoculars like an actual item you have to select, and then you like aim for it like using the scope button. In this game, it's a completely separate key. You press the binoculars key, you look for it.
Automatically slots up.
Yeah, and then you press the But if you press the scope button, it brings up your scope for your weapon. The amount of times I've been on binoculars, I've then automatically just wanted to put the binoculars down, hit the scope button because that's just my muscle memory kicking in, and I've then put my sniper rifle scouts. I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. And then you press it again. Of course, you've put the
Scope down. The
binoculars. No, they don't come back up because they've effectively been deselected. I get a lot of muscle memory issues out of this game, which is some of the design choice of the way it works seems a little bit. I can see what they're aiming for, but it seems a little bit weird.
It was muscle memory that threw me off in Wolfenstein 2. That's why I had to play it on a control pad.
Yeah,
that is the good thing about control pads.
Yeah,
pretty much every first-person shooter has the same setup.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
PC.
Call of Duty kind of set the mould for first-person shooters, where you know modern ones, and you kind of they just follow that template really since then.
Like I say, it's a good game, which is missing that little something that would make it a really good game. So
they're cheaped out on the key ingredient.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
I don't think they're mega budget though, are they?
No, they're not.
They're kind of
but it looks really pretty. It
Yeah.
looks really pretty. It looks really nice, and it's got some interesting bits. And I mean, it does some weird. I mean, again, it's all design choice where most levels you complete your objective, and then you have to get to an extraction point. Okay. There's one last time I played. You complete the objective, which is destroying a bridge with a railway gun on it, and it just ends. The level just ends. They don't want to get to extraction point, and I know why. It's because you destroy the bridge. So obviously, they wanted to model another version of the level with the bridge destroyed. So he said, "Oh, we'll just end the level there."
Yeah.
So once which means you can catch you up, because in most of the other games you can do all the other, you can do the main objection and do all the other ones afterwards.
Oh,
Not on that level, you won't be able to, because you do the main objection, the game ends.
Oh no.
So, yeah,
Fair that.
fair enough. Minimeister.
Right, I've got to say to begin with, I've had a lot of issues with my Amazon account. Not Amazon necessarily. I just lost my phone got destroyed, so I don't have
It would be destroyed. It was already like pretty much held together with spit.
Yeah, but it completely destroyed the screen. I couldn't.
What he means is his phone was broken. Instead of buying a new phone, he kept buying 4K televisions and
I went to buy it.
and
Good
PS.
choice.
I've tried 2 places to buy a phone, and that just keeps going wrong. But anyway, so
They don't want your money.
yeah, Tesco's man. But apparently, I tried to get this Amazon thing set up where because my email account I can't access it because I don't have the password. I tried that whole retrieval thing from someone else's account that just hasn't worked yet. So I called them up.
Please tell me you've not got a Gmail account.
No, it's hot. It's,
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
so I tried to get through to
I'll
them.
get to that in a minute if necessary.
I sent them an email saying, please call me on this number. They didn't do it for about a week, so I asked them again.
Me, a week.
I said, there's something I want to cancel. Can you please call me on this number? I gave them the home number.
This is to Amazon.
Yeah, to Amazon directly. They did call.
I
But
was probably going to do that stupid Sky Shield thing. That's fucking
I
annoying.
know. I couldn't. That's
Shield.
terrible, isn't it?
You ring him up, right? You ring him up, and then
Really
he goes,
bad.
"Hello,
And you have to-
this phone is protected by Sky
That's a nightmare.
Guardian. Please say your name and after the tone." So then you say your name
Yeah,
after the
press the
tone,
number.
and it goes, "We are attempting to connect you." And I don't know. I'm assuming it rings you, and you pick up and it says, "It's TheSuffolkRam on your fucking phone."
I couldn't get through to my own home.
But then, right, they answer, but because it takes a second for it to trig, he must say hello, but I don't hear that. I just hear a blank empty line.
It's terrible.
It's
I've
fucking
probably-
awful.
I
It's
don't know
fucking
why they have that.
irritating.
Yeah, it's dreadful. But anyway, get back to the original thing. I said, please call. But eventually they called me while I wasn't there, and my dad answered, and he couldn't give the information they needed. So what they do, they said, I was sending an email. I was sending him an email.
What good is that?
Yeah. So I ended up with Fallout 76, right?
Oh!
Because I pre-ordered it and I couldn't cancel it. And
You poor motherfucker.
I know, right?
How much did the pre-order cost you? How much? £1,000?
No, 45 quid.
45 quid. Oh, that's actually
Okay.
quite cheap to be fair for pre-order.
Yeah,
So anyway,
I wouldn't have paid it.
no.
I wouldn't know.
You could put that
I wish-
towards a frame, Meister, Middle Meister.
So me and you, eventually, not at the same time, but we often end up playing either the same game or sort of fairly similar games. You have a few more sort of deep cut Japanese sort of games on your list. Yeah, you're a bit more.
And he actually plays the
more
game
retro.
through several times. Neil Turner.
We did to that on Game of the Year, but no, that was last year. But anyway, we talk about playing games, but you don't really. So you start with a character creator, and it's exactly the same for Fallout 4. Hair, face, eye. It's not. Yeah, they haven't done anything to it. It's exactly the same. You're just in a slightly different room, and this time you have a passport photo. Right, you can basically take a photo of your legs and it will accept it. So anyway, you then go out, you go through the Vault 76 and you get like a basic Pip-Boy before you leave the room. You get this mobile camp, which is alright. Then you get a few other little, stim pack and a couple of other little bits. And then you go out there. There's no NPCs because they didn't want any NPCs. They wanted all
the economy.
Yeah, all the people you meet.
Someone's been watching DayZ.
Yeah, all the people you meet are supposed to be real. So all the missions, all you get is audio logs and occasionally a robot. So you basically go from one audio log to another, and it's basically just the whole game is just fetch quests when you do it. So you just go to a place, you
Like
do
most
something.
of those then.
Yeah, but there's no.
There's no real lore to build up. There's no atmosphere.
There's
built
nothing
up.
like before that. I know you guys aren't so hot on all of them, but like the last Fallout games, I know they're bug ridden and stuff, but I've always been able to get past that because I've enjoyed the story and the characters and the world and everything.
The stories, they're so poorly written.
Yeah, they are. They're
And I played JRPGs about tits.
Story is exaggeration, but I do like the characters and
Sure.
the world and going into crazy buildings. In this one, there's none of that. There's no funny characters to meet. There's no interesting interactions. There's nothing like
I
that.
slag off Fallout. Yeah, I played a game where the entire premise was to save the world as a group of female ninjas shooting each other with water guns.
And
That was almost my game of the year.
We'll find out in 2 weeks' time what your game of the year is, won't we, Skazz?
so basically, that's pretty much all you can do in it. Really, that's like the whole thing of it. And then the entire point of the game is to find stuff so you can build your camp. So you I built a little bit like of a mini camp, and then
Is that like the settlement function from the...
yeah, but you can do it more or less anywhere.
You get
Now,
steamrolled by other players.
question. So your camp, does it work like Ark Survival Evolved where when you set your camp up, it's there actually in the world for everybody to see?
It's persistent.
Yeah, within your.
Or can people, like, when you're logged off, can someone come fuck it up?
No, I think it goes in on itself in this little
It just
mobile
fucking
thing.
packs up, it just folds up.
Yeah.
You put it in your pocket.
Why can't I
thing
buy
is-
one of these tends to do that?
So it's a mobile, like a mobile camp.
Don't hit the back up button when you're asleep inside it.
However, yeah.
Someone comes up
Yeah.
and trolls.
So, but when you move
I'm
it,
stuck in the bag!
What happens to Middle Meister? Ah, my legs!
so if you move it to another location though, it doesn't unfold everything's muddy down. You get blueprints. You have to rebuild it each time, like
Oh,
little
that's
pieces.
fucked up.
Some bits are right, but and you get like a big crate, but they fixed it, but they haven't
Wow,
done enough.
a
Where
big
you,
crate.
Some straps.
where you put all your stuff, but you can't put hardly anything in there, and so it fills up really quickly. So you've always got stuff.
Have you not paid for the sort of deal, the microtransaction that gives you a bigger crate?
No, they did upgrade it, but that's still not enough. But even if all that was excellent, this game doesn't have a frame rate. It's a series of images that are kind of strung together. Basically, yeah.
No, mate, no, that's reliable. That's somewhat
you have a bit of
consistent.
control over it. On this, if you get I faced 3 bad guys at once. One of them was on fire. It looked trash, and it dropped from 30 frames to 15 when this happened. And then there's like a big building you go to, and if you
On the PS4 Pro?
yeah, Yeah. And if you go around a building and you walk away from it, like one particular big structure, you know, you're lucky if it gets
optimized.
Pops out.
Yeah, you get about 12, 13.
It's the same engine as the Fallout 4,
It's
isn't
the same
it?
as, like, I think Oblivion and stuff, like Creation Engine.
No,
They've just updated and patched it. I think,
Fallout
haven't
4 is a different engine. That's a new engine because
Nah, mate,
I don't think it is.
no, Oblivion used the Game Boy engine. They changed. Well,
I'm pretty sure
Skyrim had a new engine.
I'm pretty sure
Fallout 4 is a new
Skyrim
engine.
was the Creation Engine, and then they've used the Skyrim one. I'm pretty
Creation
sure it's
engine
based on that.
Yeah, Creation. I think the Creation was what they called the version they
Are
had.
they still
for
using
first.
the engine from Daggerfall?
It is a pretty
No,
old,
because that would actually be quite reliable.
I think if you Google it, it's a very old engine that they've just patched and upgraded. And the thing is, they've
So
said
it's the old, it's the pyramid code of Microsoft.
they're going to use the same engine for Starfield and the next Elder Scrolls as well. So they're just, you know, and this engine isn't fit for purpose for this game.
Bethesda, you're a developer. Come on.
I had one unfortunate friend.
There are lots of companies out there who basically all they do is make engines. Buy one of theirs.
It's, you know,
Last time
Yeah.
with Game Boy, I guess they bought that off somebody. That was
they're still waiting to earn that money back from all the Skyrim like remasters. They
Sky
keep-
wasn't Game Boy. Sky was a different engine.
Well, there you go. There's the problem.
So where
They keep buying engines.
The
and not
last
making
Game
enough money
Boy
back.
engine was the Fallout New Vegas.
So I had some poor unfortunate PSN friend who had it as well. They had power armor, and I was talking to
I
him on
heard
there,
that was really bad.
and I said to him, "You look really freaky. Why are you naked? And why are your like armpits are massive? His legs were bowed, and the bit of him was like stretched out. And his face was a bit longer. It doesn't, for some reason, most of the time it doesn't render in the power armor, so you just get a naked person inside the power armor. So he was walking around like that."
But why even
thick
bother?
armpits.
If you yourself, why even bother rendering the character? You want
I
to
know.
bring the power model.
So he was just this naked character with just his pants on, walking around. I said, "Why are you naked, looking like that?" And he said, "I've got power armor on." But from my side
Was
of
he
the
sort
game,
of floating from off the
a little
ground?
bit off the ground, yeah. And he was kind of.
So this
it
game
wasn't
is
moving
basically-
normally. He was
But
kind
what
of
I get
wobbling.
about this is that Bethesda have made an online game before.
Yeah.
This isn't their first go at this.
It's not just power armor either.
Fallout, Elder Scrolls Online.
They didn't do it.
No, that's a different developer.
Yeah,
But they've got the. They know. It's
And it was
code.
shit. It
It
didn't
doesn't
work
matter.
in that
But it's sort of work. It works better than that.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it does work better than this.
Oh, really?
Fallout 76 is, without a doubt, the most broken video game from a major developer ever. Absolutely no.
Well, first one. Okay, this is Bethesda you're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is the most broken Bethesda game you've ever played.
Yeah, but Bruce, it's
I mean,
the
let's be
most,
fair. Pretty much every Bethesda game falls into the category of most.
it's the most broken
Let's
game
face
I've
it.
ever played.
Let's face it,
easily.
most people play Bethesda games for the bugs.
Yeah, but this doesn't have
Let's put it
anything.
this way: Skyrim, the complete remaster on Nintendo Switch, a complete rebuild for Nintendo Switch, still
I know, they
has
still put it in there.
game-breaking bugs in it from the vanilla PC launch.
Here's the thing, though. I played the game probably about 7 hours before I started to go completely insane, and it crashed 8 times.
Oh,
In that
motherfucker!
crashed 8 times.
It's almost as bad as Monster Hunter.
Have you been
Just
looked
in.
yet?
No, I don't think I. No, if you do, more
Imagine
than-
the frame rate when that happens.
if you do them all, that breaks. So it's, you know, that crashes completely. If you do if you try and get all the nukes to go off at once, which some people have tried, obviously, but it's
Of course they have.
So,
So, because you're in a limited world, aren't you, of like 100 other players or something?
25
25?
because there's not going to be an MMO.
That's exactly. It's not even really. It's
25 ain't even a
bloody hell.
Battlefield, man.
I say Battlefield 2, so 32.
And don't forget this map's
64
4 times
even.
bigger than Fallout 4, so
So how? So you, oh.
but it's so fucking boring though.
Well, yeah, 'cause there's nothing in it.
There's nothing to do. Yeah, you go to these locations, right?
Oh
And instead
my
of-
god, I heard it was trash. But
Instead
instead
of-
taking the piss.
This isn't even.
Can I just, 1 second?
Yeah.
Bethesda, you're a developer. Perhaps you should, develop.
The thing is, this is insulting because it's the game is released so
25.
broken, and so you go over to instead of going to a cool building and finding.
Almost like the engine isn't designed for multiplayer.
Yeah, it's just not fit
Oh,
for
almost got a
purpose.
tear there. That was funny.
You go to a building, yeah, and you go to a building and you there's no one to meet there, so there's no interesting characters to do anything for. And the map is it's all unlocked at first. You can see everything where you can go. Fast travel cost caps. Yeah, there's no real incentive to do anything. Even if the game had a perfect frame rate and all that other stuff, there's still nothing to do. But it's just, I can't believe they released the game so broken.
Does the level progression work the same as?
Oh, kind of, but you get these perk pack kind of things instead, and you have to kind of
God's sake.
decide which ones you want on and things like that. Plus, it's just.
This is what you guys get for continuing to support such a
Hey,
shit.
I steer clear.
I would have done if I.
But you've still supported every other Fallout game since Bethesda got their grubby little hands on.
I wouldn't have got it if I had the chance to cancel it. I would have cancelled it. And
Jesus.
I can't believe them. I know there's lawsuits in talk, but I can't believe they haven't been sued yet. The game.
You poor fuck.
Now, did you get the one with the canvas?
The bag. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you heard about the bag, Skazz?
Yeah, the plastic
Canvas.
bag.
That yeah.
That might as well have been like a little bag.
Isn't it amazing when everybody, when there's a lawsuit got threatened, all of a sudden they suddenly found a way to make canvas bags?
Yeah. Although oddly enough, investors and early supporters of the game did get the canvas bags straight away.
Influencers got copies of the canvas bag.
So yeah, so probably like Ninja probably got one.
Yeah. Someone went online. They basically went on this place where you could like upload your custom bags. They made one basically to Professor Spec, and it was going to be like $3.99 a bag.
Yeah.
And they said if they ordered like 1,000, it's going to be $1.99. It's like, I can order this right now for you, Professor. Just tell me the check, I'll order it for you.
Plus the game is automatically in survival mode, so you have to drink water to keep your water level up, eat food to keep your food up. Yeah, but it's kind of. And you have to keep maintaining your guns, but it's so bad. Like if you reload a gun, the frame rate drops.
It just gets the feeling that they saw DayZ, which is now long on the teeth and ruined, and thought, we can do that, and then fucked up.
They've probably just gone and stolen it and just put a fucking Fallout skin.
Are you saying it's actually the armour engine underneath? We don't realise. Oh my God.
Almost from a purely graphical point of view, it looks better than Fallout 4, but it's still. But actually,
that's not hard.
Only
mate.
just about. In a lot of ways, most of the time it looks like a high-end Xbox 360 game. It's really, and I'm like,
come on, give Fallout 4 a bit more credit than that. At least look.
Yeah, Fallout 4 does look a little bit better, but you know.
Well, I thought that game was fucking
talking
trash.
Remind me later about graphics. I've got to show you. I've got to show you a CG trailer which I watched the other day. Someone pointed out to me a CG trailer, which is I'll show it later. It is awful. It is a CG trailer for. This is completely unrelated. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
BBC are redo Wash Down. They didn't need to.
It does look rough. I've seen the trailer.
Oh my God! You should see the trailer. It's fucking awful.
You said BBC.
Yeah.
BBC. They have a budget. Why is it trash?
It is. You should.
Why don't get me to do the work on?
Right, trust me. When we finish this, if you've not seen this, go watch this trailer. When we finish this, I will show you the trailer, and you're gonna. It looks like a PS1 game.
But yeah, so also it's had two patches this game, but neither patch added to the overall size of the install. So what they've done is they've just replaced it twice. Yeah, and it hasn't done anything. It hasn't improved
the game.
Yeah, but it's done nothing. The frame rate is still 20. You know, drops down to 15 regularly. This doesn't just happen in busy bits. You could be going through a town with nothing happening.
I'm wondering if this could be a RAM management issue, memory management issue.
It's
something
that has to damage their reputation for a long time.
Like I said, that's not very hard, but to release something that broken,
don't forget,
even for Bethesda, that's pretty.
Don't forget, Fallout 4 was still getting like 8.5, 9s, 9.5s. This is getting 4s everywhere, and this game is absolutely just.
A few people
I'm not really positive about games on here. Like I try and always talk about the best
trash
bits, but there's nothing. It doesn't have a single redeeming feature. This game.
Some people have said to me, "It's fun when you're playing it together with your mates, but otherwise it's garbage."
It's kind of okay with a friend, but there's still nothing really to do. It's just go here. All you can really do is build your camp. There's nothing else.
Fuck about in the world of Fallout, which let's be fair, is post-apocalyptic, so there's nothing in there. Anyway.
Yeah, because you go to buildings that would have been interesting in the past, but you're not really sent there to do anything. There's no one there when you get there. There's no crazy characters or anything.
So when you log into because obviously it's only 25 people. I mean, I know it hasn't sold that great, but I'm sure it's more than one version of that map. Are you just randomised which one you go to, or is it always the same 25 people? Is it just random every single time?
I think it's random each time, unless you have like a friend or something. You can set up a certain way to do it, but I keep getting kicked out of the server anyway, all the time.
That sounds like Nintendo. So
yeah,
must be peer to peer.
But it's just, I honestly, it's absolutely the worst game for a very long. I can't honestly remember the last time I had. The more you play it, the less fun it becomes as well. It's just absolutely awful.
That does not surprise me, but I didn't.
If any, those people watching, avoid this game at all costs. Even if it goes down to, it's already half price, but even if it goes down to £5, just avoid it. It's an insult that a developer would release a game this broken at full price.
Even free?
Even free, fuck off. Yeah,
it's free, fuck off.
Yeah, because completely the game is completely.
I'm glad you said that, because don't promote it, don't encourage it. Just know that if it's that trash, even if they offer it to you for nothing, do not take it, because that means that someone's going to see it, and they might not be lucky enough to get it for free.
And this is me saying it. So in the past, I've always been the Bethesda supporter on this channel. So
well, no, like I said, I'm glad you're doing it, because you know, most people say, "Oh yeah, if it goes really cheap, I get it." No, make them learn that they can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it's just the absolute.
Like I say,
worst.
when they released remastered versions of games with bugs from vanilla versions that were how old's Skyrim?
Is that 06 or something like that? 07?
That's not that old. That was new when my boys were young. So
probably about 2011 or something.
Yeah.
I think 2011, 12, something
they
like that.
went that long, and there are still bugs, game-breaking bugs, widely reported from the vanilla version in the remasters. What are they doing?
But meanwhile, there's actually fan patches out there that fix nearly all of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. And yet Bethesda can't do it themselves. This is their game.
You expect a few on a game that big, but not to the extent that you get in Bethesda games. Like Red Dead Redemption, that's like a massive, huge 70-hour game, and there's very few bugs in that for the size of the game. Like
that's because Rockstar are pretty good at polishing. Yeah, they tend to hold up they do tend to hold up.
Like motherfuckers.
They release a game when it's done, never before. Just when it's done, and they delay. They don't mind delaying games. They just
that's the whole
do it when
point.
it's done.
You don't release it until it's done.
Yeah, this game needed at least another year, minimum. Another year.
Like it needed to be fucking left on the cutting room floor. Man.
Yeah, because basically this. They were going to do this to Fallout 4, and it just feels like that's what they're. It's just
they're just milking it.
Yeah,
they're milking the franchise now, and they probably will run it into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely broken piece of shit. Don't buy it ever.
Right. Notes. Steam Cat, no story, part online gameplay, very incomplete, released 1 year too soon, which is what we said. Big mistake.
Steam Cat, you like. Well, when we normally talk, you always troll on me with Fallout talk.
Yeah, this is Fallout. Well, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, though the pretty and great mods are both way better than Fallout 76. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
I see a lot of people saying to me. The thing is, though, with the Fallout community, like, I will never understand. Fallout 1 and 2, I get it. They were decently written. They were groundbreaking for the time. However, when you start talking to me about Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, all the fucking communities can talk about are the mods. So I'm not interested. That's not the core game. That's not a good game if you're telling me about the mods.
Well, I played Fallout 3. You had to play with people Bethesda, right? The scopes in Fallout 3, the default version, were wrong. They didn't actually line up people with heads. So if you tried to play a game about using VATS, with a scope you would miss unless you installed a mod to fix it.
No VATS in this one either.
No, straight.
You can't pause it.
You can't pause other people's gameplay.
The thing is, it's meant to do an auto. You have VATS. It's meant to do an auto shot, but because of the frame rate and the load and stuff, by the time you get it sorted out, it's gone from 95 to 0 because they run around it. Also, I've gone into about 8 different buildings, and normally 2 out of 10 bad guys will just stand around and spin on the spot, or just they won't move, or they'll move around normally, but they won't try and attack you.
Interesting.
Yeah, that happens a lot in that game. Like, they just don't attack you, they don't bother, they just walk around growling, but they don't go after you. And sometimes they just appear, like, poof, they're there. I was hitting a mole rat and it just disappeared off the map completely, like, just gone.
What, just fell through the map? Or
it just kind of went like that, it just disappeared completely. Like,
sure you didn't kill it and just jip it?
No, it just disappeared. It's very difficult to kill stuff if you play it on your own, because the levels, the way it's done is meant to be loads of people killing it, but you know.
Clearly there's no fucker playing because the game is trash.
Yeah.
So they can't fight. It could be they can't fight you because the map's 4 times bigger as Fallout's 4 and there's only 25 of the buggers.
And the frame rate's so slow you can't get there.
Yeah. Oh dear.
There are still people with rubber bands around their control pads that are going to make cups of tea just to hope that they all meet up in the middle.
You need cars or some way to get to places quicker, but it isn't just like fast travel. Which
The trouble is, what it sounds like to me, you know, like the battle royale craze that's been going on right now.
Yeah.
There was actually, I can't remember his name, so I apologise, but one of the developers of one of these battle royale games actually came out onto my stream one day. Follows me on Twitch. He'd actually made like a Mad Max post-apocalyptic nuclear war battle royale game that sounds like it would have been about 1,000,000 times better than Fallout 76.
Yeah.
If you'd have slapped the Fallout 76, if you'd have slapped the Fallout skin on the front, the world would have looked identical to Fallout, but fucking better.
Yeah.
The world was probably the same size.
Yeah, the three of us could have made a better game than Fallout 76.
That doesn't.
I can sort of use Unity.
Yeah. I can project manage. Honestly, it makes me angry. It's so bad. It's shocking that they released this. It's 2018. It looks absolutely awful. It was released like 3 weeks after Red Dead 2. I don't know. You can't get away with that kind of shit anymore.
Although you've got Red Dead Online coming, haven't you? Or is it already?
That's already there.
Apparently the beta is a bit.
That's all right, but it's
rough.
It's just they're introducing battle royale.
Has
to that
it been
as well.
hacked yet?
I don't think so. I'm not aware of, but
yes, is probably the answer to that.
Yeah.
Battle royale would be
before
good.
it dropped.
That'd be a good battle royale for a Western, mind you.
Probably be fucking battle royale westerns, so you know.
Yeah, apparently the Call of Duty ones are really good. A lot of friends I've got online have gone from Fortnite to Call of Duty to that Black Oak mode.
Played a lot of that
because that game's so polished and just
they didn't
just
like
it Black Oak mode in it.
Most of the people who I know that play the Call of Duty Battle Royale mode would have never have touched Fortnite.
No,
they've actually gone and said, look, we'd never touch Fortnite. It's trash, it's cartoony, it's all about building. Have you ever seen a Fortnite tournament?
I've seen bits of it, but
I've
got a friend who plays it. I've seen it.
It's just ridiculous. There's such. I don't like that game at all. It's trash, and it is trash. Radical Heights was fucking fun because it was stupid, but Fortnite's trash.
Evening, Ali.
I wouldn't get Call Out, the new Call of Duty, but if I had a choice, that'd be 10 times that over Fortnite.
It seems to be a thing for some reason. Rishin doesn't want to put anything from the YouTube channel, but here we are. Welcome, hello.
You might as well come over to the Annie. Go over to Twitch because
he's talking to us
Twitch
now.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Right. Well, one last thing to go before we wrap up on our penultimate podcast of the year. Just want to talk about something. I put stuff I'm looking forward to, but it's more like stuff I'm intrigued by. I'm interested to see how it develops.
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
No. Well.
Shockingly.
It's a game called The Outer Worlds.
I did see the trailer.
Made by Obsidian, developers of Fallout, Fallout 2, New Vegas, and they actually worked on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
They put them on the trailer, didn't they?
Lots
of Fallout.
Yeah, lots of things involved.
The makers of the good Fallout.
They are now, they are now
there,
making a new RPG game called The Outer Worlds. First person. Set in a future where basically corporations have like own planets now and so forth, and you like go and you can basically, unless you're on the Outer Worlds and you're on Christ and you get woken up by someone who looks a bit like Doc Brown.
It's supposed to be like a free kind of world, wasn't it? Like a really good place, but corporations
sort of took over and owned it. And everything is owned by corporations, like 10 corporations. Everything you have, so like different weapons, and be owned by different corporations. And like if it's a certain corporation which is like high quality, if they're like a luxury corporation, their weapons will last better, be better quality. But this is like their new sort of game, and to be honest, it seems to be like it's going to almost play like New Vegas, but a lot better looking game. Some of the animations look very New Vegas, but it's got some interesting things they're going to do. So
I think it's like quite soon, isn't it? Not like
2019.
Yeah,
which is soon.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's interesting things. Some things they talked about were like. So, like New Vegas had the sort of dialogue trees where if you're good, if you like you intimidate, you can intimidate people. Good at speech one. If you're not so good at that, but you've got a companion who is intimidating, they'll back you up. No. So if you like threaten somebody, but you're not quite good enough, they might say, "Hang on, you better do," because they'll like back you up, which is quite neat. Yeah. But it's quite I've seen some gameplay footage from one website. They said I could talk some gameplay footage. And it plays very similar to it's in the Unreal 4 engine, but it plays very similar to.
I'm very intrigued by it myself.
Yeah, it's different. It looks a bit different. It's very colourful and bright. Looks quite interesting. And
Obsidian can be quite hit and miss, can't they, with their games?
Look at their history. They've got a lot of good. They
normally do other people's sequels, don't they?
They've got a lot of good stuff in their history. They've also got a few good stuff. This is also going to be probably one of their last, although it's not confirmed, one of the last games they're going to release, which will be multi-platform because they've now been bought out by Microsoft.
I imagine it would be the last game on PS4, certainly.
Yeah, so I don't feel so.
Console.
Windows 10 exclusives coming our way, yay! But this is going to be a thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's due out next year. They've worked on about 3 years. It's pretty much so I'll be interested to see how it goes and develops.
Yeah, presumably
Microsoft then destroy them and close the studio.
Yeah. I just want to say something. Why are you? Microsoft is like EA. They're the kiss of death. Yeah. Don't work for them. All the people they've killed. Just literally.
Was it Westwood?
No, that's EA.
Yeah, but I just meant generally yeah. Sony have done it themselves, but not to the extent of any.
Yeah, don't. If you get off to be brought up by Microsoft or EA, don't unless you want to die.
Yeah.
So.
Or if you just fancy releasing some shit games with a lot of money in your back pocket. Rare.
Sure, I picked the comments I made in YouTube screen for completeness sake. Let's have a look, see what you said. No. Sorry, but no. Got tangled playing at the MSX1 with FD emulator for a bit longer than I expected.
As you do.
As you do. There you go. Thank you anyway. Right, that's it for me then.
Yeah, that's it. Now for me.
Good. Well then, unfortunately, you're going to miss out. This is our end of our poll episode. We're going to record. Plan for the Christmas episode in a fortnight's time.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
See you guys in 2 weeks. So see you all in a fortnight. You won't be able to...
I'll wait here with my cushion.
Yeah, I'll wait here. I'll make sure we're going to make sure we're in the same clothes.
I'm going to leave my clothes here.
Yeah, good.
Mate, right.
So I offer you that.
You won't be able to, for technical reasons, there's going to be a glitch in a fortnight's time. We won't be able to comment why we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
You know how it is.
You know what YouTube's like.
It's happened for the last 5 years, don't worry.
Yeah, always happens
Christmas
before
lights interfere with it. Apparently.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So you're going to
have
have an issue with that. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. But it will be there in 2 weeks' time. So until then, see you guys later. Bye. Say bye, Tom.
Bye. You didn't say that I've been TheSuffolkRam.
No.
I'm the TheSuffolkRam.
I've been minimised there.
Skazz.
Bye.
I just.